Hello, good morning, gorgeous fempreneur babes. Welcome to day 2 of Your Edge 2023. I am so excited for you to be here. I'm so excited for day 2. I was ecstatic about day 1. I was still buzzing all day yesterday after day 1. So much of what we talked about applies to what is so potent and so important and so special for our business. Yesterday, we talked about, oh, the music just stopped. Let it just finish. So if you're hopping on here, say hello in the comments. If you are just, or if you haven't caught the replay of day 1 yet, day 1 is there up for replay. You can access it. All my master classes that is done in Fempreneur Babe Society is going to be up in the guides section for you to catch the replays on. It's going to be great. This master class is going to be a masterpiece because it's going to be something that you can always come back over and over in 2023 when you need that extra little bit of activation oomph, that little bit of a push, that little bit of a rethinking, rewiring as to what it can feel like, what magic, what personal power, what magnetism it can feel like behind the strategy and the framework that we're going to talk about today, if you ever forget in 2023. So it's going to be in here in the guides section, and I've created a new guides section yesterday, and it's there. The Q&A is also going to be done on the 3rd day of this masterclass, which is tomorrow. And tomorrow is really special because tomorrow we're also going to deep dive into an activation portal, and it's New Year's Eve. So we're going to wrap this program up really beautifully. So Q&A thread is posted. I highly suggest that you utilize the Q&A thread because it is there for you to ask questions, ask really intelligent, smart questions of the things that we talk about today, about your business, about your strategy, about your energy, and the things that come up for you. Because when you actually put a lens of your business and you apply the teachings that we talk about here into your business, you start thinking differently. You start embodying the version of the woman who asks the questions that apply to her building and scaling your 6-figure and beyond business. So that is what I would highly suggest you to do. The Q&A is there, and I'm going to go through all your questions. And if there are no questions posted, then I'm going to extend the activation portal a little bit, and we're gonna then close off beautifully, okay? And then another housekeeping reminder is you get to be in a draw of a one-on-one intensive with me because it's just so fun. We're gonna implement and go further and deep dive into what we talk about in this masterclass, Your Edge 2023, and plan and strategize what really applies to your business. So you get a one-on-one intensive of an hour with me. If you screenshot this, or if you post an I'm in poster and tag Fempreneur Babe on Instagram, you get to be in the draw, okay? My intensives are really deep dives. They are very powerful. They're really highly value packed and intensive. It's an intensive for a reason. And then we're gonna look at all the things that apply to your business. Sounds good? Okay, what we're gonna do today is a lot of the heavy legwork of building this business framework of yours. And I wanna emphasize again, since I've been emphasizing this since day 1, is that what we're doing here is not so you can plan everything out. What I am giving you is a gist and a framework of some important questions and about the pieces of your business model. Pieces of your business model that you desire to scale and sustain to a 6-level and a six-figure and beyond income, okay? And it's for you to really take an eagle's eye view look at your business and look at it from a perspective of, okay, These are some of the pieces that worked in 2022. These are some of the pieces that didn't, and what I'd love to carry through into 2023, what I'd love to pay gratitude for in 2022 of what I've done, and how can I get better. We're not here to sit and look at what went wrong, because that comes from an energy of lack. That comes from an energy of it's not enough, I haven't done enough, and then you're building on top of something that feels like a void, that feels like a hole. What we want to build on top of is abundance of this feels amazing. I've done so much, I've accomplished so much, I feel so great about what I've done in 2022, and there are going to be things that you feel amazing about. I want you to really sit and write them down, okay? And if you haven't caught up on my recent posts, there is a post that I did on how to reclaim all your power from 2022 if you feel like you haven't met your goals in 2022, because we can all get into the self-sabotaging spirals thinking that 2022 didn't go as planned, didn't go as what we wanted, and we go into the spiral of thinking that something's wrong, and we just zoom into 2023 thinking that we gotta fill that hole. But that's not the vibe, and that's not what we're springing the platform from. What we want to spring into 2023 is on a solid, abundant, pure desire platform, so that when we get into 2023, it is out of pure desire. Okay? So if you haven't checked that post out, highly recommend you do so. And what we're going to talk about today are 2 to 3 key pieces of your business model that's going to be so important for you to be scaling. So important for you to be scaling. And the energy behind all these 2-3 pieces are going to be what really catapults and make these 2-3 building blocks of your business really, really potent. We're going to talk about offers, sales, and launch. Okay? Offers, sales, and launch. I know this is like such a big, we put so much emphasis, we put so much pressure on these building blocks. It's like, what's the strategy? What's the big thing to do here? What's the most effective thing to do here? Give me a second. I just gotta adjust this chair of mine. Okay. Okay, we're good now. It's like, what's this big strategy? Like, what works? And truthfully, this is what I'm going to tell you. This is me who have invested multiple 6 figures in my business. I've worked with 8-figure mentors, 7-figure mentors. From the get-go, I have been learning from the best. From the get-go, I have been on track to scale my business to 6 figures. From the get-go, in the first 4 to 5 months of my business, I was learning. In the 6th month, I hit my first 20K month. From the get-go, I have been plugged in. It has been 1.5 years now. And we've been rocking and rolling in this industry. Fempreneur Babe Society has been in here, and Fempreneur Babe Society actually was created this year. If you're new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. So from the get-go, I have been immersed in here, learning the best strategy. And what I have found is all across the board with my clients, with my personal experience, with my 7-8-figure mentors experience, it is all about your energy. The strategy works, but the strategy only works and is as effective as the magic that you add in behind the strategy. It is as effective as the magic that you add in behind your offers, your sales, your launches. Because I can give you a framework that works for me, another person that can also give you their framework that works for them. But if you believe in my framework more and there's more magic behind mine because of the way that I express it to you, and that magic's contagious and you want to take that magic on, then it's going to work for you more than the other strategy, even though that strategy may be more effective overall speaking on a non-emotional energetic scale, right? So it's all about your energy. It's all about the magic that you add into your business. So today when we talk about offer, sales, and launch, what we're gonna really rein in and hone into is talk about it from a perspective of magic. Talk about it from a perspective of what sets your soul on fire. Because what sets your soul on fire is going to be the thing that leads you forward, is going to be the thing that determines your personal power, is going to be the thing that actually takes you all the way in. And of course, when we talk about personal power is really important because the human comes in, the humanness comes in, it kicks in, it takes personal power. And if personal power is something that you'd like to work on, day one, if you haven't watched day one yet, day one is there for you to plug into personal power, determining that you are the vibe, determining and deciding that what you want is already done. Okay? So when we talk about offers, sales, and strategy, I want you to ask yourself just an overall feeling in this past year. Have you been lit up by your offers? Are you lit up currently by all the offers that you have put out? Are you lit up by your sales energy? Are you lit up by your launch energy? Is there magic in the things that you do in between? Yes, it's a framework. Yes, it's a strategy, but it's always a thing that flows in between that adds that extra layer of oomph that really quantum leaps you into your next level is the magic that's behind it. And when I say magic, I mean this feeling, this energetic feeling, this emotion that's out of pure abundance and desire. So sometimes we can get pressured into doing a lot of things in our business. But what has really helped me and my clients go through this is tapping back into the abundance and the pure desire of why we started what we started. For example, this Your Edge Masterclass. I created this, and I was talking about this yesterday as well. I created this out of pure desire and pure abundance. Desire of giving you value, desire of walking you through some of the steps that I walk myself through when I reflect back into 2023 and when I look into creating the best 2023, reflect back into 2022 and create what I want to create in 2023. Right? So I want to walk you through this, and it's all out of pure desire and pure abundance. So where have you been not feeling alive in your offers? Where have you zapped your sales energy? Where were some of the points in time in launch that you felt like, I don't know? You know, where did it zap your energy and make you feel less alive? It's about giving yourself the time and space, and at the same time, a mix of purpose that makes you feel alive. It's not like too much space and too much time and then you're just like kicked out of the momentum. Neither it is that there's so much purpose that you're so in your masculine that it kicks you out of your feminine and kicks you out of your magic. It's that sweet spot. Okay? We want to eliminate the things that don't really make us feel like magic anymore. That feels like, I don't know. Doesn't feel the best, doesn't feel all right to me. So you get to decide, because you get to do business your way. And we know this for a fact. You can look at my Alive Masterclass. My Alive Masterclass actually walks you through what makes you feel alive, what makes you feel excited is what makes you money. And how do you magnetize clients in from a space of aliveness, from a space of magic, from a space of I am the vibe, I have decided, and so it is. So Alive Masterclass is in the guides section as well. Okay, so offers and offer suites. What I am an advocate of is scalability in your business, because my story is a little bit like this. When I hit my first 20K months, I had my strategy down to pat, and I got bored of the strategy work. And I'm just like, you know what? There's so much exchange of time with my one-on-one. I desire to scale. I desire to impact more people. Yes, I could have already made a freaking multi-six-figure business just based out of one-on-one coaching and giving all my time away to one-on-one intensives, one-on-one programs, and masterminds are great. Masterminds are a higher extension, a group form of one-on-one. But one-on-one is like an hour with one person, which is why it's close proximity, which is why I highly suggest when you actually do one-on-one, either if you're in an early stages of your business, doing one-on-one is great and amazing for your experience and for gaining that momentum and expertise. And secondly, one-on-one is great when you just want to hit a goal, which I'm not a big fan of. I don't do the thing just to hit a goal. I do the thing because I desire to do the thing, and I do the thing because I desire to make an impact and scale my business, because I want to do big things, because we want to not only create and have a glass ceiling at 6 figures, we want to go beyond. We want to have a business model that goes beyond that. So we get to have a business model that goes beyond that, which is why the emphasis is on scalability. The emphasis is on sustainability. This is where the group programs come in, because group programs is literally like a lot of people into one offer, and you're very specific, and you're talking about very specific issue or a challenge that people would like to learn from you and apply to their business. For example, my group program that's coming up in January is on social media. So we're going to deep dive into creating an activated online presence that speaks to your fuck yes clients so that they jump into your work in a way so that they jump into in a way so that the value of your work is conveyed, in a way so the embodiment of your work is translated online. So do you see how this is like really deep dive into one pocket of conversation, one pillar of your business? So because it does that, then there's more focus on the results that we're getting. And people love that. So when I map out what my group programs look like, I look at the journey of somebody that I want to take through to help them build and scale to 6 figures and beyond. What would they require from a business? From me, from the skills that they need to have in order to get to that level. So I take them through an entire journey of point A to point B. And then I'm like, okay, they ideally would need to learn how to create an online presence, how to create and talk to their audience, right? That's important because you need an audience and an online platform to buy your offers, jump into your offers, and for people to know that you exist, that your work exists. So you gotta showcase. You gotta have a display window to showcase. So if you haven't caught up on my IG post today, it is on how social media and content is literally a window of display on your best shopping center store. It's like, imagine if you go to a shop and there's no window display, you would not go in. Usually you go into a shop because the window display is really pretty and you want to see what's inside, right? So that is literally the purpose of your social media. And yesterday I talked a little bit about this. I'm not taking it personally, but we're going to deep dive into that in the social media program that I have upcoming. And what was I talking about? I kind of feel like I derailed there a little bit. So yes, they would ideally require from point A to point B journey, they would ideally require needing to know how to build a social media. They would, if you are a coach and a mentor and you desire to really scale your business in the coaching space, then you gotta learn how to be a mentor, how to be a coach, and then you gotta learn how to create offers from your magic, and then you gotta learn how to sell and launch, and then you gotta learn money mindset and feminine embodiment and magnetism. But all the business strategy and the things that I will teach, I have made it my mission under the Fempreneur Babe brand that it's gonna be taught under the energy of fuck yes, under the energy of feminine entrepreneurship. What does the feminine entrepreneurship entail? The feminine entrepreneurship is a mix of magic, magnetism, and manifestation. So these are all the key elements of this brand, because what I see out there is a lot of like strategy, how to do this so that you can get. But then what happens when we do that is it zaps our life force, is that we forget the aliveness of what we're here to do. We forget like what is the heartbeat of our business, the magic that we desire to bring, because there is a huge, immense amount of feminine embodiment that has yet to be tapped into. And when we tap into that, our work is like 10 times more potent and more powerful, which is why it was really crucial for me to bring this lens of magic, magnetism, and manifestation into my work, because that I realize is what makes me feel alive to talk about strategy. I did mention a little bit that strategy kind of bored the hell out of me after I made my first 20K month, and I was just like, it feels really easy for me and I want to put pins in my eyes just talking about this all day long. But how can I elevate this? How can I talk through this through a different lens, a lens that makes it feel so alive? The key elements are still there. The key framework is still there. Nothing changes, but the energy behind it changes, because the energy behind it is alive. It's like a live wire. Okay? So this is, okay, we kind of derailed a little bit again. How do you intend to create an offer suite for your clients? So if this is like your first time and you haven't created a group program yet, that is beautiful, that's amazing. Maybe it is something that you'd love to play with in 2023. And what I always recommend my clients to do is create a group program. Your first ever group program has to be something that you're so excited to talk about. It has to be something that's just like it lights you up when you talk about it. Like you can talk about it with your best friend and you're like giggling about it. You just talk about it forever. It has to be something like this, because that is the energy that sells. And especially if it's your first time, there are a lot of little pieces, nitty-gritty pieces in your strategy that you learn and you go through, and it makes it that much easier when you talk about something that you love. Okay, so if it's your first ever program that you want to play with, I send you so much love and blessings, and I want you to play with that. Something that just makes you feel so freaking alive and magnetic. But if you are somebody who's been running programs, or if you already have a program running, look at how do you want to take that program to the next level. The current program, if you're running one program, okay, and it has been doing well here and there, look at how can you take it and elevate it to the next level. How can you bring more magic to it? What are some of the key pieces? How can you bulk up? So sometimes the way to add more magic to a program is to bulk up the content a little bit more, bulk it up in a way that you add more substance, add more meat to it, because you have evolved from the beginning of the year when you first started launching the program until the end of this year. You have 100% evolved, and sometimes what bores us is really talking about the same thing in the same way all the time. How can you spice it up? a little bit in a way that's just like, oh, that feels so good to talk about it in this way, because you're allowed to talk about it a little differently. You're allowed to evolve as you evolve, because as you evolve, the clients that you're going to call in are going to be higher caliber. You can increase your prices on your offers. You can make it next level. You can take the master classes that you used to sell the offers to the next level, and it all just is at the next level. Stop playing at the level that you have outgrown. If the level that you have outgrown, your programs right now feel a little stale for you, here is your permission slip to take it to the next level. How do you spice it up? Do you spice it up maybe by increasing your prices? Because your prices are very important. Spice it up by maybe increasing more substance into your content. That is really important too. Okay, and if you already have a program suite of multiple programs, look at and evaluate where some of the programs are they beneficial to you, in the sense that how have they fared throughout this entire year? Have you felt the magic and magnetism behind it? In which one of these programs made you feel so alive and it did so well? You want to take that program and you want to bring it into 2023 again. What were some of the programs that you were like, you know what, I'm not so sure? Like, you can definitely put it on the table. And maybe multiple of those programs are like that. Or maybe you can do a combination of those things and make it into something bigger and different and evolve, because you get to. Okay? So, a few questions that I have, and like yesterday, I'm gonna be posting the questions in the group, and it's going to be something for you to tap into. If you have yet to launch a group program, what is the first program that you'd like to play with that feels like magic in 2023? And then if you already have some programs, what were some of the programs that lit you up in 2022 in terms of content, sales, and launch? And what is a new program that you have a burning desire to try in 2023? Okay? And then if you already have programs, how can you elevate your current programs? Okay? So, and what is really important for you to also take note of is to really make space for creating on the go. If you're anything like me, I'm a Manny Gen, big Manny Gen. Love creating the things that feels alive, love creating things on the go, and I make things happen really, really fast because that's just my my human design makeup. So leave a lot of space on the go, which is why if you look at Unapologetic, so when we were talking about the customer journey, one thing that I wanted to add on to for that is you are taking people from point A to point B. And like I said, you show them social media, you need to learn all those things. And you'll see that this is what I'm doing currently with my programs. This is what I'm currently doing with Unapologetic offer, because Unapologetic actually is a full year-long offer of all my programs in 2023, and you get to be plugged into all the programs that actually gives you the skills, the energetics, the activation portals to calibrate you and embody you, help you go through the embodiment of the 6-figure and beyond businesswoman. So this program is created with the intentionality of taking you from point A to point B. So this is what I also would love for you to look at when you look at how you design your offers, how you design your programs, your group programs, so that people, when they are plugged in, so there are multiple things here that really helps. It helps because then people are plugged into your world throughout the whole time period, and they love it because they want to do the journey with you, they trust you, and they just have to hop into a program once, or in the case of Unapologetic, and they get everything. You can do something like that, but if you are not so sure about taking them through the entire year, you get to just deep dive into 1 or 2 or 3 of those programs and do that 2 times a year and do it really freaking well, and you become the go-to expert for that. Okay? So it is also important that you leave room for magic. You leave room and space and opportunity for women to create things. Women to create things in your world, and for you to create things in their world. And this is what I found is such a sweet spot. Like, as you'll see in Unapologetic, I know that there are 5 programs that I'm going to be doing. As to what some of the really specifics and names, maybe I'll combine some of them, maybe I'll split some of them. I'm not so sure, and I don't want to be so sure about these things, because then it keeps me in a box. The last thing we want to do is keep ourselves in a box. The thing that we want to do is know what are some of the things that lights us up, and use and propel and you leverage that energy going into 2023. If you know 2 of the programs freaking light you up and that's all you want to focus on, then do that, because your energy is what's important here. And then leave room for magic to happen, leave room for creation to happen, for that feminine like creativity and life force to come through, and whatever feels alive you can create on the spur, create on the go. That generates more sales, that generates more clients and more money for you in your business. Okay, cool. Okay, so the pillar number 3 that I want to talk about, so we talked about yesterday what it takes. What are some of the key elements to focus on when you actually build an activated, attentive audience? Because that is very important as an online entrepreneur. Number 2 is, what are some of the offer suites, and depending on what stage of business you're at, that you want to bring into in 2023 with magic in mind. Number 3 that we're going to talk about is sales and launch. Okay, so I'm going to not like deep dive into what sales and launch means, because there is going to be a program in 2023 that's coming up under Fempreneur Babe, that we're going to talk about how to create your irresistible offers and the energy of sales and the energy of launch. Okay, as to the names of the program, I'm not so sure, which is why Unapologetic offer is freaking amazing. You just get all the things. The energy that I want you to bring into. So what is the energy that you desire to bring into 2023? Okay. Isn't the energy of sales, I know for a lot of people, and my clients including, I'm going to drink a sip of water first, okay? So tell me, how are you feeling? What is the vibe? If you're catching the replay here, you're on here, say hello. If you have questions, just drop it in the chat, because what I want you to do is be engaged, and I will respond to these questions if you're catching the replay, if I catch them. Okay. So the energy that you want to bring into in 2023, your sales energy. A lot of people have so much ickiness around sales. Like, that's too much. That's like, I'm taking up too much space. I'm saying it too many times. But you are a business owner. Starbucks is open for coffee and sells coffee every single day, and it's open every single day. Yes, you're not like Starbucks, but you gotta put your offer out every single day in order for people to know that your offer exists. But here's the thing where the magic comes in. The energy that you want to bring into sales when you go into 2023 is, you want to feel. So first of all, I always talk about creating an energetic experience in your body of anything that you desire to create. If you desire to approach sales in a way where you're so confident, your confidence, you stand in your leadership and you are in full conviction with who you are and your truth, and you want to sell from that space, you have to tap into that space and create that energetic experience in your body first. So sales is an energy that gets to be effortless. It gets to be, first of all, no dropping your power, because you don't care if people are going to buy or not. You don't care if people are watching or not. You do not seek external validation. Personal power is key here, which is why I preface this masterclass with personal power. Personal power, personal power. It's an energy that's effortless. It's like you do it. You do it because you love talking about it. You do it because you know that this work is so valuable. You know that your work is so potent and it changes lives and is transformative. You know that if somebody actually takes this offer, because for example, social media, I know that if somebody takes this offer, their social media online presence is going to be transformed, because there is a very powerful, energetic, and an activation portal in there that really taps you into the magic of creation, right? So it is the same with selling. When you're selling an offer, it's like your offer is great. You have to tap into this. This is what I said today in my post, that sales is a byproduct of your offers, of how solid you are in your offers, of how much of a fuck yes you are in your offers, and the creation process of your offer, because that energy translates into how you present and articulate this offer to your clients, right? So what you want is it to be an effortless byproduct, sales to be an expression of this offer. It has to be like without being desperate. The reason that we come from an energy of desperation sometimes from sales is because you don't believe in your offer. I think that's key. You don't believe in your offer. You don't believe that it's going to change lives and implement and is important. First homework is for you to tap into that. You have to believe that your offer is in highest alignment and full integrity, is really fucking beneficial to your clients, right? And if you're all on here, sometimes you may just not, your offer may just be really fucking good and you just don't believe in it because you haven't seen results with it. And this is where I would say that calibration to a mentor, being in a container, will really help you anchor in how good fucking work you do. 2 is because you feel like it's too salesy. You don't like it when you judge when other people sell a lot. You judge when other people sell a lot. But if you really think about it, they sell because they are a business. They sell because they actually freaking love their offer. They know this is valuable. They know this is desired in the market. They are really confident in their offer. These are some of the things that trigger you because you're just like, I don't know if I'm confident in my offer. So then that energy of desperation comes through, right? Because then you are just like, because the other person sells so much and I'm judging it, my clients are going to judge me for selling so much. I want you to remove that judgment and really think from a neutral perspective, a business savvy woman perspective. The other business is selling because they're selling, because they're a business. So are you. So are you a business too. You are selling because this is a service that is desirable, that is needed, that changes lives, that takes people from point A to point B when they implement it into their business. And we will be doing a disservice to the world if you didn't charge for it. Disservice to your magic, to your energy, to what you have accumulated in your experience, in your personal experience, in your mentorship experience, in all that you are today. It would be a disservice if you do not show up and sell. Do you feel what a difference in energy that is? Because you are purely coming from a space of service-based, service-oriented. There is no ickiness around it. You actually remove the ickiness around oh my gosh, like it's not selling, it means something about me. Oh my gosh, it's not selling, I'm not good enough. Oh my gosh, and you just stop making it mean personal. It's not personal. It's about your magic, your power, your leadership, who you have become today. Which is why one of the things that I talk about in personal power yesterday is radically own who you are. Radically own who you are today, what you have done so far in your business. If you have taken one course, if you have been in mentorship, if you have been in the online space, you are in there like boots on the ground working, then you have something to share, you have something to sell, you are the hot shit mentor, and it's up to you. Nobody is going to give you the title of hot shit mentor until you freaking claim it yourself and take radical ownership of who you are, what you've done, your work, how powerful your work is, and that your work today is enough. That what you have accumulated today is enough, and you do not need any more than that to provide a transformation, to provide value, to provide information to the clients out there who are a match to your offer and who are seeking the same value in the market. So then when you come through that energy, sales feels like matter of fact. Sales feels like, this is what I have for you. I'd love for you to join me. If it's not aligned for you, that is completely fine. But if it is, I trust that you are in your power to make that decision. And sometimes we get desperate in sales. The third reason was that we get desperate in sales is because we think that we gotta convert. We think that we gotta really go out on a limb to convert people. An example of that is that you think that you gotta convince somebody, and it comes through when you're trying to convince somebody to buy. Whereas what I assume, and one of the things that has worked beautifully for my business and my clients' business, is that when you assume that you're talking to leaders, and yesterday we were talking about how all my clients, I see them shoulder to shoulder, right? When you talk to them like they are leaders, when you talk to them like they're women in power to make empowered decisions for themselves, and they know what's best and the most aligned for them, and they're intuitive leaders, they're there, and those are the people that you want in your world. And because those are the people that you want in your world, they are going to lead themselves to you. They're going to come into your inbox and lead and buy from you. But your job is not to convert. Your job is to convey the value of your offer and how it can be beneficial to their business. That's your sales job. But once you've done your job, then you let go and you trust that the people that you're going to call in are the people who are the most aligned for that energy. Right? So the other sales energy that we really want to clean up going into 2023 is selling out of pure abundance and desire. I would highly recommend not sell because you have to pay bills. The one thing that I tell my clients is that your clients do not pay your bills. You pay your bills, and your clients just join your programs and your offers in your business. You're not dependent on your clients to pay your bills. So when you come from a place of desire and abundance, it's about tapping into, ooh, this would be so cool if I connected to my clients this way, and I actually was able to articulate it in this way and give them a portal for them to tap into, so that they can, so their quality of life skyrockets, so that the way that they see their business just freaking skyrockets, so that they can do and implement all the strategy, but it is coming from a place of a compelled, inspired action, desire place, so that I can give them a calibration, so that I can give them this code of desire. Because when people plug into you, they actually plug into all the codes that you are. So when you come from a place of abundance and desire, your sales skyrocket too. People who come into your world are actually energetic match to that. They buy from you from a space of abundance and from desire. Because they don't buy from you because they need to fix something in their work. You don't come from an energy of like more. Like, what is more? It's like, for example, I'm gonna apply and bring back to all my programs and the way I launch and sell. It's the unapologetic. Like, I desire, and unapologetic right now, it's an insane value because my one program is about $1,000 and unapologetics, all the programs in 2023 were only 2222. So this is out of abundance and desire. If this was out of lack and I needed to pay my bills, it would not have priced this way. If this was out of just like quid pro quo, it would not have been priced at $2,000. If it was just out of like, I need to fill the spaces, or if it was just out of like, I need to be compensated, it would not have been at $2,000. This is priced the way it is because it just feels yummy and it feels aligned for me. Because I desire to give an opportunity to people who are in the level of abundance and desire, and they would love to be in this space for a period of time for this price that's almost a no-brainer. It's out of my pure abundance and desire. If I was trying to meet my goals, then it would not have been priced at $2,000 at all. That's because that's crazy, that's insane. So when I actually operate from a space of abundance and desire, then I price my offers in such a way that feels like abundance and desire for me. And then because in that creation of that offer, my sales energy is on the same level and same frequency of abundance and desire. And then my clients who actually come into that space is also in an energy and a frequency of abundance and desire. So there's a match. There's an energetic match. And that's the way I desire to bring my clients in. You're in my world if it's a fuck yes. Like, I have no availability and energetic availability for a woman who are not in their fuck yes. So if you look at Fempreneur Babe Society, it was completely built on fuck yes. And then the feminine perspective, magic, manifestation, and magnetism, it's all this fuck yes, beautiful, aligned, abundant, pure desire energy. So with all the different types of things that we talked about, I want you to really explore and look at where were some of the times where it felt really, really good, abundant, and desirable for you when you sold it. And it doesn't have to be like, you don't beat yourself up when it hadn't felt that way this entire year, and that is completely fine. That's completely okay. And in fact, you gotta celebrate yourself for actually going through it and making it through without being even tapped into that energy, and still being you and still desiring to get better at this and not burnt out and exhausted. Maybe you are burnt out and exhausted. That's why you're here and seeking more magic. But you get to come from a place of compassion, from love, and feeling accomplished. And then tapping into, okay, how else can I add more magic to my sales? Okay, so when you tip the scales in these energetic directions, everything changes. Okay, so I'm going to briefly talk about launches, okay? Look at, so launches, the way I see launch is it's a framework and a timeline that really holds your sales and holds the entire creation process of your offers. From initiation to the end, and the end of the delivery to your offer. For example, let's look at this little masterclass, Your Edge. I literally downloaded it on Monday. So this is a very super short launch of this masterclass, right? Monday to Saturday, tomorrow. And initiation of idea was Monday. And then I started selling it in between Tuesday, Wednesday, and then delivery Thursday, 3 days. While I'm delivering, there's also sales aspect to it. So there's sales is sprinkled in there. Magic is sprinkled in there. The offer creation evolves and as new things are added. So today what I've talked about, some of the things were not added last night when I was putting it together. I allow for creation to happen. I allow for creation to evolve. Things to be fluid. But there is a launch timeline. So a launch is what holds this entire process. It's a framework that holds the entire process. So I'd like for you to look at what were some of the things that really, really worked in your launch. And one of the key elements that usually I see people struggle with is the launch period. Because that is super important when it comes to the momentum of your sales, momentum of your energy in that offer. Your energy is not going to last forever in that offer. So if it's a 2 months launch, that may be too long. For me, a good launch period would be 2 weeks. 2 to 3 weeks. And then maybe an additional week for a masterclass. It just really depends. It just really depends on what I'm feeling. So what is it? How do you evaluate your launch period in a way that you can tweak it with your energy and with your momentum and with the magic that conspires? And this is also where it's important to have that activated attentive audience, because when you do have that activated attentive audience, they help you build the momentum. They hop in to the pre-sale, they hop into all the different things, and then that helps you build the momentum, and maybe that increases it. But in the beginning, if you don't have that audience, you are still in the phase of building that audience, your launch period can be longer, because then it may take a little bit more time for people to warm up to your offers, for them to know, oh, this is what you do, this is what it is, for you to build that momentum. But what's important is you gotta find that sweet spot where your energy don't just plummet. Your energy is sustained and is still there. And sometimes, yes, it goes down, but is there an opportunity for it to come back up during different phases of your launch? And if not, then how do you decrease the launch period so that your energy is sustained? Or can you allow for a little bit of dips in your energy for that offer? Because likely that may be the case. The latter may be the case of what you do if you have a smaller audience and you want to showcase to them what it is that you offer. You gotta tell them a little bit more and convey them a little bit more of value of your offer so that they can actually hop in. So the warming up time is longer. So can you maybe increase the length? For example, in my business, what I'm evaluating is I desire to increase the length of my masterclass launches, not 1 week, 2 days. I desire to increase the length of my masterclass launches. And because of that, I'm going to start selling my masterclass before. And then if there are ideas that hit and I want to do it right away, I would try to actually put it off to the week after and then play with that. Right? So if your audience, so what I was saying is that if you have an audience that would take a little bit more time warming up, your length of your offer may be a little bit longer. So then you allow for your energy to plummet just a little bit, and then you come up, and then you be plugged in, and then you give yourself a little bit of rest, and then you plug in on the different times that you're launching. Right? So evaluate what are some of the times that work the best for your energy. We are going to go deep dive into all of this in the upcoming program next year. If you desire to deep dive into all the things that we talk about today, my 1020K Bootcamp program actually deep dives into offer strategy and launch and sales as well. So the 10-20K bootcamp is available for replay. You can do that as well. If not, if you desire to start fresh and learn new things in the new year in 2023, I would say you can jump into Unapologetic, or you can let me know, and we can, if you do not desire to jump into Unapologetic and want to have like a specific piece of this program, which is just creating offers and having launch and sales, then I can create something for you. So just let me know. Okay, oh my goodness. That was a really deep dive into all the energetics that's behind your offers, your sales, your launch. So evaluate some of these things. My question for you under launch is that what are some of the things that zapped your magic during the launch process? Was it the length? How long would you like your launches to be in 2023? You evaluate your pre-sale, early bird, regular launch period according to the momentum and energy in magic. Okay, and these are the questions that I'm going to post inside. So we talked about the two big pillars, offers, sales, and launches today. And these are some of the things that I really hope that you take into your business in 2023, and it's going to skyrocket. These are some of the elements that I wanted to put together something that actually covers all these pillars, because I wanted to bring in and reflect back on some of the key elements of these things, of these pillars, and something that we can tweak in 2023, because these are big key elements that has appeared and surfaced in my business, in my client's business, that I feel was very important and worth addressing all together in one jam-packed masterclass like this, like Your Edge 2023, so that when you go into 2023, a lot of the bigger questions, bigger question marks are addressed. Okay, so those are the last question I think I have here is that in selling and launching your offers, are you limiting yourself? Are you not squeaky clean as you can be? Are you misaligned with your pricing in any way, shape, or form? So the reason for this question is that sometimes when we are creating our offers and launching our offers, these are the big things that I see. First of all, people think that I need to have an offer if I have results. I can only create something and have something and share and sell something and deliver something if I have financial results. So this is what I want to make really clear. The financial results are not the only results that people buy from you for. In fact, financial results are sometimes the last thing that people buy from you for. They buy from you because of the embodiment. They buy from you because of the confidence that you exude, the leadership that you have, the conviction that you have, with the bravery that you have. What if you can sell your confidence? How did you become so confident that you magnetized in the man of your desire? How are you so confident that you have manifested actual money in your life? Like, not financial results. Like, because we did this strategy, and then XYZ happened, then you made 20K months. That is not the only. Yes, if you have financial results, that's good and amazing and awesome. But you can show them that I have a dream relationship. I have a dream relationship, and I desire to show you how to create a dream relationship. These are the elements of a dream relationship, and I want to show you that. If somebody who invented the fart app can be a millionaire, then why can't you deliver something that you have embodied and something that you do not limit yourself towards? There's a lot of things that I can sell. And yesterday, I think I talked about a lot of it. Like, if you quit your 9 to 5, you can show them, how did you quit your 9 to 5? What are some of the things that you desire you can have in the background to make sure that your transition is as smooth as possible? Right? Like, how can you act in such a way that you call in men in life? How can you act in such a way that you have money manifesting all the time in your life? How are you tapped into that magnetism? How did you write a post so good that I'm just like, it's grabbing my attention? Social media. And if you think about it, I'm not selling financial results. I'm selling how do you write, create effortlessly, attentive, beautiful content that speaks to your ideal clients. Because by the end of the day, for you, financial results is good and great, and you know it happens. And that is, yes, a lot of the times that is what you want, but at the same time, you want it in a way that's your way. Right? So there are people, you can teach people the way that is your way that helps them get what they want. And they will pay you for your way of doing things because they love it. Okay? So that's not limiting yourself. Squeaky clean and misaligning with your pricing. Sometimes we think that we gotta put a price that's really high because that's what the industry standard is. But it feels misaligned for you. That's where you gotta lower your price and play around with the pricing. The pricing has to be the sweet spot where it's not too low that it does a disservice to your energy and your work, and it's not too high that you feel like you cannot hold it. You cannot energetically get behind. You want something in the middle. Okay? All right. Oh my goodness. That is a lot of the content though. That was really jam-packed. So reminders as we end today's masterclass, I want to share with you the 2 opportunities which I've shared throughout this program as well, throughout this today as well. Opportunities for you to jump into my world. If you desire to learn about social media, desire to learn how to create effortlessly content that translate the embodiment of your work into an online space and create an attentive, activated audience. Attentive, activated audience does not mean you need 100K followers. It means that even if you have 100 followers, if they're attentive and you activate them and you speak to their desires, speak to them in a way that conveys the value of your work, speak to them in a way that actually speaks to them, that they understand, speak to them in a way for things that they actually care about, then your content's gonna skyrocket. Then you're gonna be seen in a really, really big way. Then people are actually then going to hop into your offers and hop into your world. They're gonna see, who is she? What is this about? And we're gonna also tap into the self-expression of who you are. Right now, the social media program is on pre-sale, $555. It ends tomorrow night, after which it will go up till $888. So if you desire to jump in, we're gonna start in January, and I'm gonna share with you all the things. Not gonna hold back. It's gonna be so fun. You're gonna learn so much about social media and creating a beautiful online presence that's purely authentically you. And then the second thing, Unapologetic, that I have been raving about because it is such a high value, no-brainer investment. It's at 2222. It's all the programs in 2023. And if you hop in, you also do get the social media program. After 2022, maybe in a couple of days, I don't know in 2023 if my Unapologetic is going to stay at 2222. I'm going to have to follow my intuition and see what price feels good to me. But for now, it is a program that encompasses all the program in 2023 and takes you through point A to point B. I will give you, and we're gonna go through a lot of the whole year together, where we're gonna help build you the 6-figure and beyond business of your dreams, how to be the hot shit mentor, how to create irresistible offers, how to launch and sell in a way that feels like a fuck yes, how to create an audience that feels like a fuck yes and is always wanting to pull the trigger and jump into your life. And then we're also gonna add some magic magnetism into it. I have a program that's gonna be on feminine embodiment, feminine magnetism. It's going to really tap into your feminine energy because we want to bring in a lot of that magic into your business, because that is what I found will exponentially expedite the success of your business. So all of that is to come in 2023 under Unapologetic. So again, such a beautiful no-brainer offer. Both of these offers are amazing. If you feel the pull to jump into any one of them, let me know, message me. If this masterclass feels complete for you, that is amazing. There is so much value in these masterclasses. Tomorrow is gonna be day 3. It's gonna be another big one because tomorrow is gonna be a full activation portal and Q&A if you have questions. And what we're also gonna do is I highly recommend bring a little bubbly. Bring bubbly because tomorrow is New Year's Eve and we're gonna end this beautifully with a cheers, with a little bit of a celebration, and we're gonna close off 2022 together and start 2023 in a big, beautiful, aligned way. So Q&A thread is posted. Don't forget, if you desire to share the I am in poster, that's there for you. If you desire to jump into any one of my offers, that's here for you. And bring champagne or bring anything. If you drink, it's gonna be in the morning tomorrow at 10 a.m. So bring your choice of beverage, matcha, coffee, whatever it is. We are going to infuse it with so much magic and sparkles to end your 2022 together. Thank you so much for coming to day 2 of Your Edge. I love you and I wish you the best day. See you tomorrow. Bye.